How did I go from completely inting the game and being 0-2 into this Qiyana to winning the game later on being 12-3 with 11 CS per minute? Today we'll be talking about one of the most important concepts that keeps literally every player below Grandmaster stuck at their rank. Let's jump right into it. There is one concept that I can promise you every single player above Grandmaster will respect that a lot of people below that point are not respecting. And that's why they are Grandmaster and other people are not. Obviously, there are other reasons for that as well, but this is a pretty big one. So I want to tackle this and I want to explain how you guys can win the majority of your games without even getting kills. This is not about kills, this is purely about being the strongest member in the entire game. So let's actually fast forward here, guys. As you guys can see, I'm currently level 7, I'm a level down on Qiyana. I'm starting to shove this wave in. I essentially get a free plating here because I was able to deny her back. And I shove another wave and then go back. So I take a reset, I come back on the map, and Qiyana goes for a roam. Now let me pause right here. A lot of people would actually follow this roam. I just want to fast forward here and let you guys know how big of a mistake this is by the Qiyana. I did ping the roam like very often, and now in this case I start moving, but after shoving the wave. So as you guys can see, the big difference here is that I push my wave first, even though the play is already happening, and then I start roaming towards bot lane. Why is this so important? Well, if the bot lane play doesn't work out, Qiyana misses a wave and I don't, which basically puts me ahead. If the bot lane play works out, I can take over bot lane and I get even more farm after that. So I E-Tiamat that guy, I Q the Qiyana, I WQ the Qiyana again. I realize that she's in ult range here, so I ult her, E-Tiamat, auto, unempowered Q, WQ, and I immediately go bot lane and switch up the lane assignments here with my ADC. Since I'm sitting on a lot of gold, I want to take a look into resetting here, but I can only reset if I push the next wave because it simply gives me better tempo. If I shove the next wave, this means that the next wave that Qiyana pushes will be a lot later and I won't really have to respond to a wave for quite some time. So I take a reset here, I spend my gold as you guys can see, I get my Profane and I get my Lucidity boots and I end up taking a base. Now, Qiyana pushes the wave here, she shoves it, and then goes for a bot lane roam, right? Now, you could say, okay, what's happening here? Do we follow the roam? Do we not follow the roam? I want you guys to take a look at the next wave that's already approaching. You can see that the next wave is already here. Now, what happens is that I ping the Qiyana roam, so my Tristana has the option to back off here and not die to the dive. Well, she doesn't respect it, as you guys can see. She keeps standing on the tower here, and instead of following the roam without my ult, I push the next wave immediately. And now please take a look at this sequence, okay? I shove this wave out, I start hitting the tower, and Qiyana keeps on staying bot. I'm just gonna fast forward here. Qiyana just keeps on staying bot lane. She's still bot, she's still bot, she's still bot. She loses this entire Ken wave. I get first tower, and I realize that she's still bot lane. So I end up pushing another wave here, and then I go for a top lane play. Now, me going for this top lane play is a lot better than what this Qiyana did, because I'm almost level 11, plus I was able to shove out the wave, and she really didn't do that. So now that means that she just loses significantly more. I get the kill on the Yon, I go back mid lane. Why do I go back mid lane, guys? Because there is a wave to attend. If I reset and go mid, that would also be fine, but I kind of just wanted to shove this in, you know, and push this wave in before I actually take a base. Now, I end up going for another reset here, and I want my Qiyana to go, I want my Tristana to go mid lane here. Now, why is this so important? Well, the reason why this is so important is because Qiyana is a really good side laner, and you want to be on your side lane wave. So as you can see, I force my Tristana to go mid, and I start side laning into the Qiyana. And now you will realize why it was so important that I didn't follow these roams. Take a look at how much stronger I am compared to the Qiyana here. You'll see in a moment how heavily I'm outtrading this guy. I'm 2 levels up on Qiyana, literal 2 levels. I'm 10 CS per minute, and just take a look at my damage, please. It's completely absurd how much damage I'm dealing, right? Now, she ends up walking up here on the minion, I end up hitting an EQWQ, and it's completely unplayable for them, because I'm so far ahead of everyone in the game, because I just didn't drop my waves. Now, I end up killing the Trundle as well, as you can see. Not really much she can do, and the reason why I'm fast forwarding this is because it's not really about the mechanical execution, guys. I'm so fat that the mechanical execution doesn't even matter. Now, again, I'm shoving my waves, I'm not being lazy with my waves, and I see that the Herald is up in about a minute, right? Now, the enemy team decides to go for a really weird pick on side lane here. I end up trading 1-for-1, which is fine, because I ping my Tristana to shove out the mid lane wave. So they lose a full wave on mid lane, and we don't lose anything, but because Qiyana is now shoving in the wave, and by the time she does that, I'm going to arrive on the map again, right? So we are always shoving in waves and making people respond to the waves that we are pushing. In the early lane or in the late lane, we are not really dropping any waves. And in the mid game, we are always on our side lane waves in accordance to the objective that's about to spawn. So as you guys can see, just take a look at the damage that I'm about to deal right here. I EQ the Qiyana, I basically half HP her with like 1Q. Now I end up using a W. Pretty sure I do get the kill here, right? So I W forward here, or I just hit my Bluetooth ult, you know, I W EQ, kill the Qiyana here. And instead of roaming now to the Herald, what I do, of course, is I keep moving forward here, guys, and I keep shoving the waves. Now here, and this is also very important concept, if you want to shove out waves, you need to be careful that you don't die. I see that 3 people are currently not on the map. I don't see Trundle, I don't see Zeri, I don't see you. And I can't really 1v3 without my ult. So I kind of ping for assistance and I wait for someone to show. Now I see that Zeri is currently showing on the mid lane wave, and that now allows me to walk up to the wave and just shove it. Why is this so important? Well, please just take a look at this bot lane wave and what Qiyana has to do now. She has to respond to the wave. There is just absolutely no way she doesn't respond to it, you know? So that forces her to not make a play on the map. Now I E-Profane auto Q her. We get the kill on the Qiyana because we are 3 levels up on the guy. And I keep pinging for the tower here because I see the entire enemy team, right? Now I keep getting a couple of platings. I see Trundle, so I dip out. We kind of play this pretty well. I use grass here, I grab grass again. I E away, I just space him here. I don't have to use my Q yet. Now I use my Q, grab grass again. And just like play it very nice and slow, right? My Zona ends up ult flashing the Trundle here. We get a kill. And now I'm currently pretty weak on the map. So I decide to shove this wave in and then just take a reset, right? So I Q this and I take a reset. Note how I'm always resetting after shoving out my waves. And there are just a couple of rules that you really need to follow. In this case, I really wanted to take a base. So I end up taking a reset here. I get Cerebral Grudge, I get a longsword, and I go mid lane. Why do I reset and go mid lane here? Because someone has to attend the mid lane wave. There should never be a situation where you just lose a wave to a tower. Ideally, you as a mid laner, if your team doesn't do it, should be the one collecting the wave, right? Now, again, instead of roaming somewhere or hovering someone or playing for the dragon, I prioritize pushing the mid lane wave first before making a play on the map. So, as you guys can see, I walk up, I Q this, and now I'm looking for things to do. I see there is absolutely nothing to do, so I grab grass, and I'm looking to just literally just stand mid lane and look for a play. I see that Qiyana is a bit overextended here, so I get a quick kill onto him. I grab grass, and I keep shoving one more mid lane wave here. So my Tristana died. That means that there is nobody responding to the bot lane wave, right? Because we only have 2 people right now. And now I see that Kale is actually moving towards the bot wave. And the mid lane wave has just been shoved out. So what do? I look for the next possible wave for me to push, which is the top lane wave, because Qiyana is now on top lane. So what do? I walk top. I hover the area. Maybe she walks into me, maybe she doesn't. And I start playing for the top lane wave here. And I'm 3 levels up on my laner, because I respected the fact that we have waves to attend, and that allows me to basically have permanent prio. So I can now Q this, I can auto-attack this, and I can start looking to shove in even more waves. And the reason why I can do that is because I see everyone on the map. I'm a bit careful here, because Qiyana can still one-shot me. I mean, it's Qiyana at the end of the day, even though I'm 4 levels up. This is simply put a really dangerous champion to verse, right? Since she has Storm Surge, she has ult. So yeah, I outrate her really quickly. I go for another wave, and just look at the map and take a look at where the next wave is. The next wave will stack like right here, you know? So what I can do now is I can use that fact, and also the fact that the entire enemy team is dead, to shove in another wave, you know? Make people respond, and now look to maybe take a reset, and to play for the Baron. So ideally 1 minute before the dragon spawns or before the Baron spawns, you want to be in a position so you are able to make a pick or contest the objective. So I end up getting Steel Sickle, I end up getting a pickaxe, And now just look at how strong I am. I'm halfway through level 16, while Diana is level 11, and enemy Zeri is level 10. You might be like, okay, Edo, but this is a very extreme example. Yes, it kind of is, but this game was recorded in 300 LP Masters, and I just want to show you guys that you don't really need a lot of kills in order to win the game. What really matters is how good your tempo is on these waves, especially in the early to late lane and in the mid game when you are about to contest objectives. Again, nobody was contesting the mid lane wave, so I go there. And now instead of doing something random, look how I instantly click top lane, because I know that Diana will shove this next wave in. And I also ping the Baron because I kind of want to contest it. So now we go top lane. Gonna fast forward here a bit. I shove in the wave. While pushing, I'm not really using abilities. I'm always trying to only auto attack down the wave and use my profane. So like right here, as you guys can see, I'm not using any abilities just in case the enemy team collapses on me. Now I'm looking for a pick. I'm 3 levels up on this guy, so I can basically just immediately one-shot the Diana, shove in another wave, get the tower, get the Baron. Note how while we are doing the Baron, both the mid and the top lane wave are at the tower, which makes it really ugly for the enemy team to contest this. So we just get the Nash, and now we can siege. And while sieging, I really like to siege in a way where we do a 4 and 1, especially if the enemy team has engaged, which they kind of do. They have Diana, which is high on engage, they have Yorn ult, and they have Trundle that can just run at someone and use the pillar. So I really prefer playing 2 lanes. So what I say is I say ignore top, as you guys can see in the chat, and I play for bot and mid. Now the enemy team decides to engage on us here on mid lane, which doesn't really work out, of course, because we have Baron buff, and yeah, it's just a numbers disadvantage for them. So yeah, we just start hitting the inhibitors here. We start pushing waves, and I'm so fat that like it literally doesn't matter how badly or how well I play. I'm just so fair that I can literally just run them over, right? And this is something that you can do literally until Grandmaster. And you might think that this is not true, but this is what I do with my students on a day-to-day. I explain to them how they can actually, first of all, get a lead in lane. So ideally, I'm not 0-3 coming out of the lane, right? And I explain to them how they can extend that lead in the mid game by respecting waves, right? It was literally just an extremely smooth example on how to carry and win your games. And I really hope that this game kind of illustrated how you guys can view the mid game and how you guys can improve your mid game by being on tempo permanently and also resetting in time after shoving side lane waves to be on objectives in time. Guys, if you want me to help your rank journey, if you want me to take a look at your individual gameplay and help you improve, make sure to check the first link in the description. And with that being said, I wish you guys a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out, bye bye, and have a nice one.